Joined by the Coors Light Pole Award winner for the 47th annual Pure Michigan 400, and that is Joey Logano, driver of the number 22 Shell Pennzoil Ford Penske Racing. This is Joey's third pole at Michigan. And the previous two times he won the pole in Michigan, in 2013 and earlier this year in 2016, he has gone on to win the race. And if Joey would go on to win on Sunday, it would be his third win from the pole at Michigan, and only two other drivers have won 3 or more Michigan races from the pole. And those NASCAR Hall of Famers, David Pearson and Bill Elliott. What would it be like for you to join that company here at Michigan?
I mean, anytime you put your name with a Hall of Famer of any sort is really special for me. That's crazy. That's really, really neat stat. We got to do it, though. But obviously starting up front here is an advantage for sure. When you talk about obviously track position, you talk about safety on restarts, being how crazy it is with this low downforce package on restarts, and the first pit stall. Probably the most important thing of all that is keeping that track position throughout the race. And that first pit stall is one of the only good ones on pit road here. There's not many good ones at all. So having that one really, really helps us keep the track position throughout the day. So I'm excited about it. I thought our car was really good in race trim earlier. I thought we were probably the second best car in race trim. And in qualifying trim, well, I didn't think we were going to make it happen today. But, that last run, Todd made some good adjustments. He gave me a little pep talk, and I was game on. I was ready to go. I was going to drive the heck out of that thing and hope for the best. So once you get in the last round and you're 8th on the board, what's the difference between 8th or 12th, right? You might as well hammer down and see what happens. And was able to drive in harder than my brain should tell me to do. And it stuck. They made some good adjustments for it to stick. And the car did what I told it to do. So, good job by the whole team to give me the car to make it happen.
Good deal. We'll start up front here with Reed. We'll get a wireless mic around. If you have a question, just raise your hand. We'll get.
Reed Spencer with NASCAR Wire Service. To follow up on that first pit stall comment, you hear how important it is at a place like Martinsville, but why is it so important at a big track like this?
Well, your pit road speeds are pretty fast here, and your not necessarily the timing line, but where they score the cars off of pit road is very close to pit stall 1, so you don't have to get back up to 55, I think. I don't know. So that's a pretty big advantage. The amount of time that you're not going slower than 55 is the big advantage here in that pit stall. So that's it. So I got no more to add to that.
We'll go next to Wolfgang, and up front here to Rachel.
Yeah, Wolfgang Munzer from Germany, Rennsport Press Agency. Joey, if I understood you correctly, you had qualifying trim, you had race trim, but you tried both. That means now you go back to race trim for Sunday?
Uh-huh.
And
yes.
And the car will behave much more different than in qualifying trim?
Yeah, it will. Well, it has to, right? When we go to qualifying trim or really go back to race trim, the big differences are your air pressure in your tires, tape on the grill, right? Those two things are the things we need to adjust to make our car fast on a long run. But when you adjust those two things, all the other parts of the car has to change as well to get the car back balanced. You take that much front downforce off the car after you take the tape off, it's going to change everything. So we got to be able to have a setup that's going to last long. Michigan's been known for long runs. It's also been known for, if you look at the spring race recently, right, you got to look at the recent history because it's changed so much. We've seen a lot of, the cautions breed cautions theory, right? There's been a lot of just repeating cautions on the restarts. That's why I say it's so crazy, and that's why it's important to be up front. But the setups are completely different, not even close to the same. So we have a typical offset to go from qualifying to race, but we got a couple hours of practice tomorrow to work on it a little bit more.
In principle, what will happen technically if you want to run a car in the race with qualifying trim? Is it possible or not possible?
Well, not with the tape on the front. It may work for 2 or 3 laps, and then you're going to blow the motor up, and then your tires would be overinflated, and you'd fall off really hard. You're going to blow up before you fall off on the tires, though.
Todd would not be pleased.
Todd would be mad. Doug Yates would be mad. All that. But I tell you what, Doug Yates has got it going on right now. This is a horsepower racetrack, man. I felt good.
come up here to what, Rachel?
Joey, what makes MIS a unique track, and how has that helped you achieve success here, if there is a correlation with that?
Yeah, it's very unique. For one, you're going 220 miles an hour. That's freaking insane. But it's a lot of fun. And I think the racetrack itself, has two distinct different corners. Turn one's got a big sweep and entry. Turn three is just flat and has kind of a sharp, like an early apex, you might call it, and then it opens up a lot on exit. So the corners are completely different. What it takes out of your car to go fast is two completely different things for those corners. But for that reasons, it's pretty unique. There's no big bumps yet. It's been really smooth, which is proves they did a really good job paving this place, because the winters that they go through up here and really not having any bumps in the racetrack yet is pretty impressive to see. So they did a great job when they did this racetrack.
Being able to handle those corners, does that help you have success here?
Well, it's all about the corners. That's where most of the speed is, carrying momentum through it. It's usually where you make your passes, where you can maintain momentum. But like I said before, it is a horsepower racetrack, and you got to get down the straightaways here. They're really long, and you're going really fast.
Go here to the center to Bob.
Bob Pockris, ESPN. Obviously, the Toyotas didn't have the kind of dominance that they've had in qualifying compared to some other weeks. I mean, all 4 Hendrick cars are up there in the top 12. You're obviously on the pole. Do you feel like there's any more parity with this 2017 package than the 2016?
I think if you look at the last few, the slow downforce package races, I think the field has been a little bit more equal. When I say equal, the Gibbs cars aren't as dominant as they typically are, but you're saying they're not dominant, but then he qualified third. I wouldn't call that very far off by any means. It's obviously really good. So, and it's just qualifying. Early in the day, I was watching Kyle Busch make laps in race trim, and he was the fastest car here. So I wouldn't say the Gibbs dominance is over. Do we feel like we're a little bit closer? Yeah, I do. That's a good thing. It's a good direction. I don't know what that's trying to tell me. Obviously it's trying to tell us something. And we all have 6 different reasons of why that could be. But I don't think it changes it a whole bunch. Good race teams are still good race teams, no matter how you look at it. And anytime you have a rules package, obviously is. Everyone does it in a different way, and then they kind of figure out what's the best way, and everyone kind of migrates to that direction on how they set up their cars or how they build their cars back at the shop. And I think you've seen some of that changes already from first Michigan to the second Michigan already this year with this package, and who knows where it's going to go in the future. So that's part of motorsports and a part of development, right? It's always going to be changing, and no one sits up top for very long if they don't keep trying to forge forward.
Joey, it's Kids Drive NASCAR week. We kicked off the big initiative this week, and we have some youngsters here in the media center. And my buddy Quinn here over in the yellow, she has a question for you.
All right.
What's the fastest speed you've ever driven at?
How fast I go today? 220 or so. That's probably the fastest I've ever gone. It's probably right now today, and it's crazy because I went in the corner into turn 1 and. The motor's cranking a ton of RPM, and you're getting to the corner, and you're getting there so fast, and you want to lift, but you can't because you want to go fast at the same time. So your brain's telling you lift, but something else in your body has to fight that urge to keep driving it off in there to go fast. So that makes it a lot of fun, kind of crazy. I don't recommend doing that when you get your driver's license, but if you're on a racetrack, it's okay.
Good deal. Any additional questions for Joey? Okay, well, Joey, congratulations, and good luck the rest of the weekend.
Awesome.
Take care.
Thank you so much.